I'm Nicolas Bertrand. I'm heading derivatives and commodities for London Stock Exchange Group. I'm a practitioner. I'm constantly on the field with talking to clients, and I hope I can bring you a fresh perspective and some support. LSE on the other side, although it has London in its name, is present across continents. We are regulated by many handful of regulators across the world, and therefore are playing really a global game. I'm delighted to contribute at this key inflection point for Europe's capital markets. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate the European Commission on their Capital Markets Union project, and also want to stress that LSEG as a group is fully supportive and is championing CMU goal through different business lines. So I can give you a few examples. We've got the AM Italia markets, which are our authorized semi-gross markets. We've got the Elite project, of which I will come a little bit further down the line. We provide MiFID solutions, especially giving a strong focus on the buy side with our turquoise MTF. Within information services, we've got projects on ESG benchmark with FTSE Russell, which is also a topic that is very dear to the Capital Market Union, and as well our general principle of open access in post-trading is also supporting the project. So we really welcome as LSE the positive steps that have been taken by regulators. And however, we think that there is more to do. We believe that this conference comes at a critical point for the next phase of CMU. And that and it's the 2 or 3 points that I'm going to try to develop quickly. That in order to succeed, we need to build capacity and diversity of markets and markets participants. We need to maximize the global opportunities as per the 5 Presidents' report, which stated that CMU and EMU must prepare the EU for global challenges. And then taking stock of what has been discussed during the day, I think there is the third point, which is implementation, and especially the need to accelerate and to really get the momentum behind the project, and that will be the scope of the new Parliament. So let me say a few words on this topic. So first of all, building capacity and the diversity. We all know that building capital markets takes time. And it's a difficult enterprise. We need to build up SME capital markets ecosystem. We need to think about liquidity provision, and we've tackled this point several times today. And also we shouldn't forget about the buy side, which is a more and more critical element in the ecosystem. Thinking and starting with the SME capital markets ecosystem, Europe's 23 million SME represent 2/3 of jobs, 60% of value added to the business economy. So if we were developing that to the full potential, we will definitely mark a significant achievement. From a London Stock Exchange point of view, we focus a lot of effort on our Elite project, which scope is to bring capital markets closer to the real economy, and particularly with the objective to fund the needs of the enterprise. Not only, by the way, by IPOs, which is usually, when you are a stock exchange, you will tend to focus your own primary market, tend to develop that. The Elite project is much bigger than that. We are really looking to get the enterprises closer to financial markets. The number of companies as of today is 1,104. Of Elite. The aggregate revenues of those companies is about 82 billion euros. The number of employees is about 500,000. Number of countries, 40, so it's a bit wider than Europe. And the number of sectors, 36, so mostly all sectors. So it's a very successful project. We want to do more on this topic. and we hope that can also contribute to this to the CMU project. The second point, which is very important, is also liquidity provision, because usually when we think about CMU, we think about primary markets. We think about company listing, but the point has been raised several times. Liquidity is very important. I think there is an element that is currently in the trialogue that needs a little bit of focus, a little bit of thinking, which is the investment firm review. Because basically, a number of proprietary trading firms will be captured under that new setup, which definitely go in a positive way, in the sense that there will be more calibration. But that calibration, as you know, is a very fine thing. And as capital markets, we benefit from diversity of clients. We cannot really afford in Europe to lose clients that are contributing to the liquidity of our markets. So it's a point that I would like to stress as a point of importance, and decisions will be made in the next weeks on this file. I guess the point is that EU regulation must pass the CMU test, i.e. supporting market liquidity providers so that we have efficient and liquid markets to the benefit of the issuers and to the benefit of the investors. And then finally on this point, the buy-side potential, very important. The leadership in market structure has pivoted to asset managers and asset owners. When you look at asset under management in Europe, you are looking at a number of 12.6 trillion euros in 2009, and it's 25.2 trillion euros in 2016. So you can see the growth. There has been changes, and this is really an element that the London Stock Exchange in particular we've been really focused on, and we think as well, other more important, projects such as the CMU we should really listen to what they have to say and try to see how we can help. So that's the first point on building capacity and diversity of market participants. Now, the sort of elephant in the room is maximizing global opportunities, because we are not existing in the world on our own. The European ecosystem is part of a bigger ecosystem. So turning to global opportunities, I think we must respond to the fact that global investment flows are fundamentally changing. 80% of global investment are made in high-income countries. When you look at stats, in 2030, China will overtake the US. In 2040, China, India, Indonesia, Brazil, Russia, Mexico, Turkey, to be double the size of the G7. So, and even going even more long term, Africa also has a very significant potential. So we should really look at that. And already today, 4 of the top 10 banks in the world are Chinese, going head-to-head with US banks across full range of capital markets businesses. So as London Stock Exchange Group, we are positioning ourselves to take advantage of these trends. We are definitely anchored in Europe, but we have strong expansion in the US, we have strong expansion in Asia. Out of our 5,000 employees, 700 are in the US, and most remarkably, over a quarter are now located in Asia. So as a company, we've also shifted quite substantially. So really the goal of Capital Markets Union should be to prepare the EU to capitalize on these opportunities. We are in front of a community of clients that are already recognizing the value of international openness. They want infrastructures that have global reach. So European regulation needs to be on the right side of history. The opportunities are huge. And in order for Europe to take this advantage of these opportunities, we need CMU to broaden access for and to third countries market participants, support EU competitiveness, and avoid new barriers. And there are very good examples. I mean, if you think about the UCITS, the UCITS is now become a global success story for the EU. It's used even outside of the EU. So there are really reasons to be positive and really good examples that have been built in the past that could serve as motivation points for these maybe bigger objectives. Finally, making it happen. I mean, that's the most difficult. And actually, I was saying, you know, listening on the different talks, it's maybe more than making it happen. It's more accelerating the process. I think we heard it. I mean, one of the issues, I mean, is unavoidable, is financial markets are engaging a wide community. So in order to be successful, you need to really be tackling a number of points across the industry. So it's difficult. There is the point on increasing post-trading efficiencies. There is the point on entrepreneurs seeking growth in Europe. We would like them to seek growth in Europe rather than look at to sell their business overseas, for instance. Investors need to be liberated from restrictions and have appropriate risk appetite. This includes obviously retail investors and the chance to give European citizens a greater stake in the growth of EU capital markets. And then regulators need to support cross-border access to liquidity to benefit end investors, so it's the asset managers and the retail I was talking before, and a proportionate attitude that supports market diversity and innovation. Because also, there was the question before, you know, the market is changing. So whatever we do today is okay for today, but it will be different in the future. So we need to take this into account. And what we do not need are contractual worries, captive markets, new arbitrary barriers, fragmentation, because this doesn't resonate with the global investors. So if we want people to be interested in our markets, we need to focus on what interests them. So I guess in conclusion, I believe that the CMU vision and direction are right. We also have significant clues to show that there is a significant opportunity for Europe in going further with the project. With the new Commission and new Parliament, this is an excellent opportunity to take the project forward. We need to continue building SME ecosystems, support liquidity providers, and market diversity, and above all, size the global opportunity. And obviously, we shouldn't forget about innovation and need to be ready for the future. So with that in mind, I think European market structure is much more robust than 10 years ago, and we should be positively reinforcing the project. And if you need anything, we are here to help.